time to talk about some movies from the 1980s. The 1980s were a pretty fertile breeding ground for horror movies. Not just in the traditional sense, but other splinter genres were created in the 80s. Genres that are still very popular to this day. And one of the movies that started off this trend was Friday the 13th from 1980, directed by Sean Cunningham. Now in your head, when you think about Friday the 13th, your mind immediately pops this image into your head. Jason Voorhees, machete-wielding, hockey mask-wearing mutant from Crystal Lake. Well, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but spoiler warning, Jason Voorhees is not in this movie. I'm sure you all know this, but it's not until part 2 where we actually see Jason Voorhees proper for the first time. However, the main plot of the first Friday the 13th tells the story of a group of teenagers who are camp counselors at the newly reopened Camp Crystal Lake. Camp Crystal Lake has a bit of a reputation of being a very evil place. To make a long story short, a young boy named, Jason Voorhees died after a practical joke gone wrong by some fellow campers. His mom did not particularly enjoy that, so she took it out on them, and to make a long story short, the camp was closed. But the camp is being reopened, and so are the wounds that were left behind. When it comes to Friday the 13th, I imagine that you would go in expecting certain things, like Jason and dumb teenagers and among other things. However, I've only seen this and part 2. I will watch the others eventually. However, I think this movie may be just a little better than people make it out to be. This definitely sets the template for what would eventually become the slasher genre, or at the very least, like the camp movie where people go to a camp and really bad things happen to them, and that formula has been done over and over and over again since then. If you want to put it like this, the Cabin in the Woods pretty much got half of their material from these movies. However, there's actually some good scenes of tension, and there are some great effects from special effects master Tom Savini. Look out for a scene with Kevin Bacon and an arrow. You will know it when you see it. There's definitely some cheesy elements, and they're not that hard to find. However, I actually found myself saying to myself, there's actually effort put forth into this. I like this. Not to mention the ending just being genuinely awesome. No spoilers, but it is really good. And at the end of the day, I think that at least the first Friday the 13th can be kind of seen as a trendsetter. And from there on out, it would spawn sequel after sequel, and remakes, and a constant fight, especially from Sean Cunningham, to get the rights back to make more. So, say what you will about the quality, but it has endured in pop culture, and that ain't nothing.